I've trained calisthenics for 10 years. I've solely focused on strength. But what's on the other side? What can we learn from endurance? This is my journey to running a 70-kilometer ultramarathon in Japan. Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 59 of Road to Shimanami, and today we have another leg day. Now, this time I'm going to split up the leg day in two parts. Part 2 will be in 2 days on Saturday, and today is going to be focused on the quadriceps. Now, when it comes to today's leg day, I am focused on maintaining my leg strength while keeping on the running. I'm trying to get better at running while maintaining my leg strength, and so I basically do something similar every time, which is 3 sets of 5 reps with 30 kilos. I've been keeping that up for a while now, but one thing to remember, something that's very important, is that if you're trying to build muscle, build strength, progress, don't get stuck in the habit of doing the same workout over and over and over again, because if you do the same workout over and over and over again, you can expect yourself to maintain the gains like I am, but you shouldn't expect a different cake when you're using the same recipe every time, right? So you have to push the envelope, you have to push yourself basically intensity wise, and you can do it through either sheer volume or pushing your sets closer to the max or using more weight, but progressing in some sense. And that's the important part, because if you're doing the same stuff every time, if you're never challenging yourself to achieve something new, how do you expect to progress? It's not like you're doing some basic workout and then you will grow and then you can do the next stage. There's a bit of that going on, but mainly, right, your body progresses, your body grows stronger from having to adapt to something that it's not used to. So if you're always doing the same thing, well, you're used to it, right? Your body's not going to adapt anymore, so you have to challenge it with more difficult stuff so that you can become stronger. But yeah, that's something if you're trying to progress on the legs, if you're or in any body part really. If you're trying to progress in your training, push yourself. But that's common sense, right? Oftentimes we run to the little details and the little tricks in order to see how we can progress. But don't forget the basic rule of just push yourself, right? Just go as hard as you can on a consistent basis. And yeah, that's that's basically what I wanted to mention. For me, I want to maintain and I want to push myself in running. So let's get started on the same pistol squats that I usually do. All right, that felt difficult today. Let's move on to some mobility work. Okie dokie, so it's time for some mobility work, and you see the towel here laying under the mat, and I basically use this to elevate my heel, because if my heel is elevated, it's more easy, or it's easier to push my knee over my toes, right? And I'll be able to squat more straight, and basically this puts emphasis on your quadriceps. So if you're trying to hit your quadriceps with the pistol squats, but you're doing it on the floor without any assistance, and you just feel like, hey, it hits my glutes and my lower back more than it does my quadriceps, elevate your heel. You will be able to go further with your knee over your toes, and basically you will be able to target your quadriceps. And that's, if you're trying to build legs, that's a very good tip in my opinion. I didn't get it from myself. I got it from Tom Platz, the man, the myth, the legend himself, because if you know Tom Platz, he's a bodybuilder with insane legs, and he used to do his squats like this for that precise reason. He was Squatzilla. But anyway, I'm going to now remove the towel from under the mat because right now I don't want to work on my quadriceps anymore. I just did that. I want to work on my mobility, and by removing the towel, I'm making the elevation lower. And so basically, it will be more difficult to have my knees go in front of my toes. It will be more difficult mobility wise. And that's what I have to train because, to be honest, if I don't have anything under my heels, I will just fall backwards in the pistol squat. And so I'm training my mobility to basically be able to do a pistol squat just on the floor like that because I have the strength. I can do a pistol squat, or I could do a pistol squat with 60 kilos, but I cannot do a single one at body weight when I'm just on the floor. So that's what I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna do 5 sets of 3 to 4 body weight pistol squats. So no weight, less reps than the previous sets. Why is this? It's because I don't want to tire myself out during these sets. I want this to be kind of a stretch, right? And I want to be able to keep the quality over the sets. And if I do 3 to 4 reps every set, slowly pause at the bottom, I'm gonna get some good time under tension in order to progress. So let's go. All right, 5 sets done. I am gonna do one more set because the bottom position in the pistol squat is the most difficult position, and so I want to spend some time there. So I'm gonna do one set of an isometric hold, left and right, basically holding the bottom position of the pistol squat, trying to get my knee as far in front of my toes as possible, which on my left side for some reason is way more difficult than it is on my left side. No, left side is more difficult than the right side. But yeah, especially now that I started running, I am feeling the effects of not stretching because if I don't stretch at all, I'm just becoming a stiff board in a matter of days and I'm unable to move in any direction that I'm supposed to. So I feel like, aiming for these pistol squats, being able to do them on the actual floor without anything under my heels will be a good benchmark for mobility, which can teach me that my body is still healthy. So let's go, one set. Okie dokie, so that's gonna be it for today's workout, and well, very happy with how it went, although holy hell, the bottom position of the pistol squat is difficult. 26 seconds was my max today. Let's see if I can beat it in the future, perhaps get to 30 seconds. But the most important part is not how long you're able to hold that position. The most important part is how comfortable are you in that position, Or at least that's what I feel like. Because if you're comfortable, you're gonna be able to hold it longer naturally, but also it's gonna show that you're flexible. And at the moment, I feel like, I'm fighting on the left leg to not fall backwards, while on the right leg, it's just a nice balance that I have. But anyway, for today's workout, some weighted pistol squats and then the mobility work. And, if you're looking to up the intensity in your workout, but, you're like, hey, Timmy, what the hell? I don't have weight to add to my workout. Well, then I have good news for you. You don't have to, because today, I did 3 sets of 5 reps of the pistol squat, weighted, of course. And, a question I often get is, how many sets should I do? How many reps should I do? The truth is, it's going to depend on how intense the set is for you, You can do 3 sets of 5 reps if the intensity is very high and it's insanely difficult for you. then that's enough. But let's say that, vice versa, you're doing hundreds of reps on the squat, right? But you're doing it over a long period of time and you're doing, like, let's say 1,000 reps over 2 hours, but it's not challenging for you. Well, then you're not going to get better. You're not going to get stronger. You're not going to get bigger. Whatever the hell you want, you're not going to get it because you're not challenging yourself, even though you're doing a lot of reps. So you have to look at intensity more than you are at in the amount of sets and reps that you are doing. So yeah, that's something very important. And you can make your workouts more intense by doing more reps, doing more sets, having shorter rest time, and of course, adding weight as well. But adding weight is just one of the many ways to up the intensity. So yeah, take that into account. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I'm gonna head downstairs and have some dinner, and I'll see you tomorrow for, I think, a bit of pull-ups and maybe something else, but I don't know yet. Let's see.